From giant UFO-designed blimps to flying apartments, here are 10 of the most insane private jets you won't believe exist. Pilatus PC-24. Let's say you want to jet set around the world. You want to be able to go anywhere. Well, with Pilatus PC-24, you can. It has been engineered to be off-road and can take off and land even on unpaved runways. Grass or gravel runways at smaller airports lets you get to about 20,000 more locations. With the PC-24, travelers can land closer to where they actually want to be than ever before. Not to mention all the time saved avoiding overcrowded airports. The PC-24's interior is just as versatile as its landing capabilities. The seats themselves can be changed at a moment's time, allowing you to reconfigure its spacing however you want. And if you bought a jet, you'd want to make it yours, right? You can even make the cabin and baggage area bigger depending on what you need per flight. The interior is made with the finest quality materials, with a white beige interior, leather seats, adjustable tables, a minibar, and more cool stuff. This plane can make flying a great fancy experience. Of course, you can tailor it to whatever you'd like. It's spacious, stylish, comfortable, and infinitely reconfigurable. And it only needs a single pilot. But it is still expensive, around $8.9 million. But it can fly just about anywhere. It's also ideal for a first-class ambulance aircraft. Where would you go in the PC-24? Let me know in the comments below. Embraer Legacy 500. Would you like to fly a plane by yourself? If that's the case, then you're probably into the geeky, fun, technical side of things. In that department, Embraer has a plane just for you. Their Legacy 500 private plane is one of the most technologically sophisticated planes in the world. Given the slimness of the plane itself, its powerful engines enable it to take off more quickly and stay in the air for a longer period of time. And the cockpit is filled to the brim with gear for the savvy flyer. Its fully fly-by-wire system gives it capabilities shared by few private jets on the market today. In its normal mode, the jet automates many safety characteristics and safeguards against various travel pitfalls like going too fast or exerting too much energy. Also, it has an integrated infrared vision which can help the plane perceive obstacles, objects, or analyze the state of the view. In the cabin, you can find 4 screens that show the commands, the routes, and many characteristics of the weather that can improve your fly experience. While the Legacy 500 is most notably for its technology, it has comfy interiors as well, so no worries there. And folks say that it flies like a dream. But at almost $17 million, it's still an expensive jet. However, it might just be worth the money. And now for number 8, but first, where would you go in your private jet? Let me know in the comments below, and if you are new here, welcome and be sure to subscribe for more fun videos on Talltanic. Dassault Aviation Falcon 6X. Private jets are really fancy right now, but in the future they are going to get even fancier, and having just exited its stages of review, Dassault Aviation's Falcon 6X is sure to impress even the most demanding of the world's business elite. What is so special about the Falcon 6X is the level of space that it will contain in the cabin area. Most private planes, while luxurious, are small. But the Falcon 6X will be 8.5, 2.6 meters feet wide, and have 6.5 feet, 2 meters of ceiling space, giving even the tallest riders room to breathe. While it's not yet available for purchase, Dassault Aviation is confident in its design. They claim that it will have the largest amount of cabin space in any private business plane, and that it can seat 16 passengers across 3 lounges. And if you take a look for yourself, you can see that these 16 passengers will be able to sit quite comfortably. The passenger's cabin is supported with technological elements like tablets or iPads that can control some characteristics of the cabin, temperature, light, smell, etc. In fact, the Falcon 6X's interior looks more like a living room than an airplane seating area. You can find a lounge, a large lavatory compartment, and a dining table, but that's what you get for $47 million. Embraer Lineage 1000E. Embraer makes some of the most magnificent planes in the world, but their Lineage 1000E stands at the top of their already impressive pack. There are a few designs for this plane model, but one of the most impressive ones evokes images of the 20s and 30s. Its Art Deco interior screams for a Jay Gatsby figure to ride it through the skies. The decor is further bejeweled with the kind of stones that remind one of this over-the-top past. Fitted with a luxury lounge area called the Cloud Club containing a complete bar to boot, the Lineage 1000E is an opulent ride, bringing to mind the architecture of New York's Chrysler Building. The brass lighting arrangements and wooden floors accentuate this vibe. vibe. You can take a peek outside through a wide loft window and then go eat in the Crystal Room, the Lineage's own private dining area. Of course, this level of luxury must come at a price. It clocks in at around $53 million. Whew. Of course, to the kind of person who can afford this jet, that's not a problem. Gatsby wouldn't bat an eyelash. Gulfstream G650ER. Most private planes scream, "I've got money to spare," but some are capable of traveling much further than the rest. That's what makes Gulfstream's G650ER so special. It is capable of flying for over 15 hours straight. It has even traveled from Hong Kong to New York in a single trip. Its most impressive ride went from Singapore to Tucson, where it traveled at an average speed of 597 miles per hour for over 8,379 miles, a world record by 44 minutes. The G650ER has 3 living areas. One of them is meant for work, another for meals and games. You can have a private zone too. Thanks to the automatic door of the cabin, you can have a meeting with a single person, or if you prefer, you can use this place to relax yourself and chilling. On one side of the cabin, there is a spacious credenza out of which extends a large television monitor for entertainment purposes. So not only is this plane an impressive specimen speed-wise, but you're not giving up on any luxury along the way. Still, it's a pretty penny at $66.5 million, but that doesn't stop people from lining up to purchase them. Who are these people? We need to be friends. Do any of your friends have a private plane? Bombardier Global 7500. How would you feel if you were able to afford a giant private jet with 4 separate living corners and a living area inside dedicated entirely to the crew? You would probably be flying pretty high. If this sounds good to you, then it might be worth saving your pennies up for Bombardier's Global 7500 business jet, which Bombardier touts as the biggest and longest range private plane. But the niceties that the Global 7500 have to offer do not stop at its size and range. In fact, it also has everything else you could possibly dream about in a private jet. It has a full kitchen, various lounging areas, an on-deck shower, and insanely comfortable chairs. Not only is it big, but the 7500 is comfortable too. Also, its design makes your flight smoother. It's pretty much a moving apartment in the sky. Of course, you might be pinching pennies for quite some time. At $73 million, it ain't cheap, but they're sold out until 2021, so that gives you a little bit of time before you make your decision. But if you're just looking, then the Global 7500 could rival any plane in the world. Airbus A319 Neo Infinito. Passengers love air travel because they can look out the window at the world below. But what if you would rather look even higher into the sky while flying? Airbus has you covered. The so-called Infinito cabin of their luxury private ACJ319 Neo jet offers passengers an inventive design which allows them to look skyward while flying from place to place. And the interior design of the ACJ319 Neo is comfortable and homey, all while retaining the decadence one expects from a private flying experience. The lounge areas can be used for conferences or dining purposes. Given the relaxed layout of this jet, it allows you to live your life on board a ship as if you were just going about your regular day. No more staying put from point A to point B. Live your life in the sky. But the ACJ319 Neo has a lot more to offer than its cabin designs alone. The jet can fly for around 15 hours non-stop and can hold up to 8 passengers. And if the Infinito cabin design isn't to your liking, they allow you to customize the interior of the jet to your heart's content, provided you have $95 million to spare. Boeing 747-8. Most private planes are meant to hold a relatively small number of people. Given that they are for personal use, this makes sense, but if you have enough money, then maybe you'd be interested in converting a full-on passenger jet into your own personal travel plane. That's what makes Boeing's 747-8 such an impressive ride. It's an airliner that's been converted into a personal plane. It took 4 years to complete. In 2016, a client whose identity remains confidential converted Boeing's large, famous 747-8 into their personal castle in the sky. This means that they have an astounding 4,786 square feet, 444 meters squared, of airplane all to themselves. It appears that they put this space to good use. There are a number of lounges, an office, a dining space, and even a conference room. Of course, everything inside the jet is flawless. Take a look. Sleek lounge designs, elegant places to eat, sleeping areas with their own hangout zones. This one rivals Air Force One, but this plane is going to cost you. At $357 million, the 747-8 is a monster jet, and that price tag doesn't even include all of the extras that were installed. Talk about luxury. Boeing BBJ 777X. Returning again to the airliner jet converted into a private jet, Boeing seems to have the category covered. The Boeing BBJ 777X is meant as a replacement to their famous 747, which is already a big plane. But they plan on making a private business jet version of the 777X for people with even bigger wallets. Over their entire career, BBJ has only delivered around 100 plane orders, but they're incredible specimens. The 777X comes in two types, the 777-8 and the 777-9. The first is almost $394 million, while the latter is almost a whopping $426 million. Talk about splendor. But they can travel even farther than the airliner counterparts, both being capable of going around 13,000 miles unperturbed. When complete, it will have the longest range of any private plane in existence. It has 3,256 square feet, 302 meters squared of space on the inside, almost as big as an average house in the suburbs. But of course, the interiors are far more decadent than in the suburbs. Just take a look at the dining areas and lounges peppering the space, not to mention the offices, bars, bathrooms, and so forth. All of this means that the 777X will be one of the most luxurious rides in the world. Strato Cruiser airship. In the 50s, traveling in an airplane seemed like something straight out of Tomorrowland, and while the golden age of air travel is long gone, that doesn't mean that there is no chance of its glitz and glory ever coming back again, and maybe when it does, it will regain that long-lost futuristic feel. That is why the Strato Cruiser airship is such an exciting prospect for what comes next in personal flight, and while it is still only in its concept stage, there's no doubt that the super rich will want one for themselves when it comes onto the scene. The ship itself is a kind of extraterrestrial blimp. It looks more like a UFO than any of the other private jets that I've talked about on this list. Its carbon fiber skin and other design elements mean that the Strato is safe and speedy. The private quarters are tucked away from the rest of the ship's features, giving you peace and quiet. And when it comes to luxury, the Strato has it all. The makings of a 5-star restaurant that looks over the passing landscape, a library, a sky lounge, a night bar, and even an entire set of tiny offices. If you wanted, you could live on this thing. Thanks for watching. Which of these aircrafts did you like the most? Which one would you want to buy? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more.